Hello, everyone. This is the incredible story of a woman and her amazing dog who saved her life. At first, she just couldn't understand what was going on. She had a feeling something wasn't right, but she couldn't quite put her finger on it. She felt fine. But then out of nowhere, her dog started acting really weird. It all began one day when a woman was just relaxing on the couch in her living room. Her dog, a chocolate Labrador named Willow, was resting on the floor nearby. The dog had been her best friend since she got him as a puppy 5 years earlier. They were inseparable. He was always by her side, and they went everywhere together. But that day, the dog suddenly got up from his spot on the floor and started sniffing around the couch. At first, she thought nothing of it. Dogs do that kind of thing all the time. But then he started doing it over and over again. He would sniff the same spot on the couch for a few seconds, and then take a few steps back to sniff it again. It was driving her crazy. At first, the woman tried to ignore it. Maybe if she pretended she didn't notice it, the dog would eventually get bored and go away. But after a while, she started to get a little freaked out. What was this dog trying to tell her? Was something wrong? That's when she finally decided to take a closer look. She leaned forward on the couch and tried to figure out what was going on. That's when she saw it. A small, dark spot on her leg that she had never noticed before. She reached down and touched it. It was a mole. And it wasn't just any mole. It was a very unusual, dark brown mole. She had seen this kind of mole before, actually, on another part of her body. It had been there for as long as she could remember, and she knew that these kinds of moles are often associated with a higher risk of skin cancer. So she knew she needed to get it checked out, but she kept putting it off. She was busy, and she didn't want to make an appointment with the dermatologist. Besides, it didn't hurt and it wasn't growing. So she figured it must be fine. But now that she had found the second mole, she knew that she couldn't keep ignoring it. So she made an appointment with the dermatologist and waited nervously for her appointment. When the dermatologist examined the moles, his face turned serious. He told her that he was concerned and that he wanted to do a biopsy to determine if it was cancerous. She was scared, but she knew that it was the right thing to do. She had to know whether or not she had cancer so that she could get treatment as soon as possible. But the wait for the biopsy results was agonizing. Every day she worried that the worst had happened. She couldn't sleep or eat, and all she could think about were her 2 daughters. What would happen to them if she died? Finally, the day came when she got the biopsy results. She was at the hospital waiting for the doctor to tell her the news. She was so nervous that her hands were shaking. The doctor sat down next to her and told her that the mole was, in fact, cancerous. She was devastated. How could this have happened? She had no idea. But then the doctor said something that made her feel a little better. He told her that there was a new treatment that was very effective at treating early-stage skin cancer. It was a type of immunotherapy that involved removing the cancerous cells with a special cream. She was relieved to hear that there was still something that could be done. And when she learned that the procedure was relatively simple and had a high success rate, she felt a surge of hope. As she went in for the procedure, she knew that she had a good chance of beating this. And all because of her dog. If he hadn't alerted her to the mole, she might not have gotten it checked out in time. After the procedure, she went home and snuggled with her dog. She couldn't stop crying. She was so grateful to have him. He had saved her life. Willow stayed by his owner's side through thick and thin, and when she needed him the most, he was there for her. This story is a reminder that dogs really are man's best friend, and it's also a reminder to get your moles checked out. If you notice anything unusual, early detection is key when it comes to skin cancer. So don't wait. Make an appointment with the dermatologist today.